So somehow at the end of the last recording, my technology failed and cut off the recording. I have probably got 2 or 3 minutes left here of what I wanted to talk about, but rather than starting over, I'm going to just record a second video and post a second video and put a connection to the second video. So I think the last video stopped at staff 2, where I was just doing the same thing as I was doing up here. Bath 21 plus 22 divided by 5 times the performance rating, which was 100, which means they are exactly average, so we get 21.8. Bed was 7.5 plus 8.5 divided by 2 times 1.15, which means that person is rated higher, so we have to increase the normal time to reflect a reasonable expectation. 9.2. Tidy 10 plus 9.5 divided by 2 times 1.1 is equal to 10.7, and we then take the average normal time and we get 41.7. So then we have normal times for 2 individual staff. You know, we would calculate normal times for a large number of samples based on the sample number we would calculate, but in this case we're just trying to come up with a guide that would get us through while we would sample. So the average normal time for these 2 individuals is 42.3 plus 41.7 divided by 2 is equal to 42 minutes. So our established normal time, the normal time is the time you believe it would take to do that activity. And so on average you expect to take 42 minutes to clean up a room. And so that is the normal time. You could, if you wanted to, also do the average by activity. So you could have done bath 19.8, 21.8, the average would be 20.8, and do those rather than by staff, by activity, and you would come up with the exact same number. So in this case, it doesn't matter whether you work horizontally or vertically, you'll come up with the same answer. So the only thing we have left to do then, let me check that we're still recording. Yes, we're getting close to the end of battery life, so let's just finish up here quickly. The standard time, which is the allowance factor with, which is the time with the allowance factor included. So the standard time is equal to normal time over 1 minus the allowance factor. So is equal to 42 times 1 minus 0.3 is equal to 42 divided by 0.7 is equal to 60. So the standard time, which is reflected by what you expect to do, including the other activities like breaks and replenishing the housekeeping chart, is 60 minutes. So you would use that. The normal time you would use to say, are people taking the right amount of time? The standard time you would use for scheduling to say, okay, so if housekeepers are scheduled for an 8-hour shift, the standard time is 60 minutes, so that the average housekeeper should be able to clean 8 rooms in a shift. If I have 40 rooms, I need to schedule 5 housekeepers. And so that's how you use this for a scheduling tool. Relatively straightforward. I trust you don't have any questions, and I will post this so that everyone can see it. And if you do have questions, please send me an email. Talk to you soon.